Hi everyone, I hope you're doing really well. Very welcome to this episode and a very welcome to the channel if you're new here. What we're going to do, all being well, is answer the question, what is the impact of incomes and mortgages on house prices and how can it help with your own property investing journey? And just before I dive into that, a very polite reminder, if you'd like to get your questions answered, you'd like our take on something to do with buy-to-let or property investing, then feel free to use the link below. It takes you to Instagram, share your question with us, and we'll sit down with a cup of tea and answer your questions for you. Now, why is this question even important? Now, I'm going to first of all take you to this website, it's Hamptons. And on this website, we learn that it says here in Q3 of 2022, 24% of homes in Great Britain were purchased with cash, which is slightly down from 26% during the same period last year. And that's interesting and it's important because you see that 3/4 of houses are purchased with a mortgage. So 1 in 3 are purchased with a cash, 3 in 1 are purchased with a mortgage, 3/4 are helped with a mortgage. So there's a great impact of the idea of mortgages and house prices. And you see, you can't separate mortgages from incomes. You need the two together. If I quickly flip back to this spreadsheet, you can see that house price purchases, and therefore the price, is dependent upon, for 3/4 of the case, having a mortgage, which is of course in turn going to be dependent upon having an income, and that of course in turn is dependent upon having a job or some form of employment. So we need to understand the impact of incomes and mortgages on house prices or house purchases. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through an example based in 2018, and by doing that, it will enable you to do the same research in your own area. And once we understand income and mortgages, then we'll be able to see that actually there's a great indicator for you that we can add to our toolbox to understand, is a house worth purchasing or not. So let's dive into it, and I'm going to start by coming back to this place over here, and it's called Get the Data. Links for all these will be in the description below. Get the Data. And we're going to be looking at an area, a property investment area of NN1 5JE. And if you're unsure why I'm using this is where I grew up. And if you'd like to see a video on comparables, if you'd like to see that, then just click on the iCard on screen. And we saw this area is basically predominantly terraced houses, and I know the area well. And I'm going to use this area because it's not where I'm investing presently. Full disclosure. If you just hit enter, you'll be presented with a load of results. Just click whatever the first result is for your investment postcode. So wherever you're investing, type your postcode and hit go, and just click this tab here. Because what we're doing, we're trying to find what the income is for where you're investing. What are people earning for this investment area? Remember, incomes, mortgages. So we look at the incomes component here. If you scroll right down to the bottom, what we need from this website is this the MSOA code, which is the middle layer super output area. So basically, UK is divided into different territories, and different areas are given a code and a number or a name. And in this case, NN1, where we could be investing, fills in with the MSOA of Northampton 022. Now we're going to use that information, and we're going to go to the ONS, and we can obtain data sets like this one. Income for small area data set, financial year ending 2018. And what I've done is I have already found on the net annual incomes tab, I have already found this area, Northampton 022. Then what we're doing now, remember, we're trying to find the income for this area, and then we'll come over to the mortgages component in a second. And I've already highlighted it here. The net annual income is £30,400. And I've cheekily added my own sheet into this ONS data. How rude of me. And as I come back here, 38,400. I'm going to put it down here for a second, not in the yellow box, but that's where you would put it in a second. £38,400. That is the income for that property investing area, net household income for that territory in which a certain area of NN1 5JE fits. Now, remember, 3/4 of houses are purchased with a mortgage. So how much money can you borrow if you had a mortgage? Now, if you come over to the online mortgage advisor, this is what the information we're presented with here. It says most mortgage lenders use an income multiple of 4 to 4.5 times your salary. Some will go 5, a very few will do 6. You're just not going to get a times 7 in the UK. It's not going to happen. And they give then a table where you say, well, if you had a basic salary of £25,000, 4 times would be this, and 4.5 times, and 5 times, and so on. And you can then see this is what you could potentially borrow. Now, the basic salary of £25,000. Now, we know in NN1 5JE that actually we have an income of 38,400. So we can be more precise. And what I've done here is I have just copied the salary multiplier of 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and so on. And if I just put this information up here, that's very helpful. We can see that 4 times that 38,400 is this and this and so on. It just populates for us. So now the question is, what is the impact of income and mortgage on house price? And you can say, well, actually 38,400 as an income for NN1 5JE means that in 2018 means that people can borrow, most likely all of those 3/4 of those people you buy with a mortgage will be able to it will be around the 153,600 mark. Some will be at 172,800 mark, and then less and less at this point. These figures. Okay, so what's the impact of that income and mortgage on house prices? We need the house prices component. Unfortunately, we go back to the internet again and we go to the land registry data. And what I've done here is I've found that Northampton 0022 area code is in North Northamptonshire. You can just select on that map where it is, and here we are in North Northamptonshire. And I am now looking from April 2017 to March 2018. And I've used that because it's precisely the information I've got from the data from the ONS. You can see here, this is the net annual household income by middle layer super output area in England and Wales, financial year ending March 2018. So I have now gone back to the house prices for March 18 for Northampton 022 house prices. And this is what I've done. April 2017 to March 2018, and it's, as we've said before, it's an area dominated by terraced houses. And look at this, look at the prices now, and the impact of income and mortgages on house prices. If I come back to April 2017, the house price, the average house price was 146,113, so 146, let's just pop that in a second. Let's go back to our spreadsheet, 146. And as we go through, by the end of March 2018, it was 160. And you can see that marries up rather nicely. People are able to borrow is pretty much the lower amount and the upper amount for that time period was going to be somewhere between 153,600, so 4 times their salary, and 4.5 times our salary, which was 172,800. Those two figures are pretty close to what people can borrow. You see, house prices aren't at the average of 190-ish, because not many people can borrow 5 times, and they're certainly not anywhere near this price. So what's the question now is, well, now we understand how to find the income for an area, and we now know what the impact of the multiplier from a mortgage point of view, and we've seen we can track house prices. Well, what's the significant for us now investing now and in the future? And the answer is, well, go to your investment area, type in your postcode on Get Data, find out what the income, the net average income is for that area, and then multiply it by those factors of 4, 4.5 and so on, and then look at the house price that's available for sale. If, for instance, as using this example, back in 2018 we had a house that we were able to pick up for somewhere between, let's say for argument, £125,000, we know that's good. Because this indicator, remember this is just one indicator of a number, this indicator says actually that house price is going to quickly drift up to or be considered around the 146 mark because that's where most people, 3/4 of people that buy a house, most people buying with a mortgage will be able to lend you. So that house price is going to drift up quickly to the norm, to the average. However, in reverse, you could say, well, if I found a house in NA15JE in this time frame, March 2018, and it was around the £170,000 mark, based upon this indicator, I wouldn't be going for it. It's too high. So what this beautifully does is it puts a lower and an upper bound. And then within that, your house purchase at the time should fit within that. Is it likely that it's a multiple of the income for the area? And if it's much under it, it's probably going to be an indicator of a good deal. And if it's much above it, then you're probably going to want to stay clear. Hope you found that interesting. Remember, if you've got your own questions, you'd like our take on something or something you'd like to ask us, there is a link in the description below. Super quick, click on it. We've already got questions to answer, so get yours in too. We'd love to give you some take and some answers for you. As always, I would just always like to say thank you ever so much for your support. We do genuinely appreciate it. My name is Josh Harrison. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.